And of course, you had the New York Times, who waited a full 2 days until after the bill passed to inform you that, surprise, yeah, you've just voted for massive redistribution of wealth. So who's telling the truth here? We said the health care bill would cost more than they were promising it would cost. We said that they were fudging the numbers. They said we were blocking progress and standing in the way of reform. Well, wouldn't you know it, the CBO came 2 months after the passage of the bill and said the bill is going to cost $115 billion more than we thought. Why? Well, if you watched this show, you knew. Because congressional and administrative game playing with a doctor fix. Again, who was telling the truth and who was bearing false witness? We knew the extra cost was there. We told you. They sold you a bill of goods. This is why the president has told you before not to watch TV. Don't watch TV. Too much information out there could get too confusing. That's why they're trying to control the internet. Instead, you know what you should do? You should just check out my favorite source, the Huffington Post. That's what he told you to do. Is the Huffington Post reporting on this stuff today? Or, I don't know, I don't check them out. We hold their feet to the fire, and we will do it to our last breath. This is why they don't want you to watch. In fact, if you think it's just him that said that, here's the latest from Van Jones on the Don't Watch Cable News bandwagon.
That little idiot box squawking in the corner, trying to depress you and make you feel like this is a horrible country and everybody believes evil things about the president and everybody this and everybody that, it's just not true. Cut it off. Just cut it off.
Yeah, they don't want you to watch. Liars and thieves, I think, usually like to carry out their thievery in the darkness. There's more. Next. Van Jones has said that he wants you to turn off the, quote, idiot box. The idiot box. Here's the reminder.
That little idiot box squawking in the corner, trying to depress you and make you feel like this is a horrible country and everybody believes evil things about the president and everybody this and everybody that, it's just not true. Cut it off. Just cut it off and walk down the street and talk to real people in this country. They're sophisticated, they're wise, they don't know exactly what to do, but they are open, if we are open with them, to be engaged. That's the country that we live in.
He seems so nice. Give me 15 minutes, I'll show you who he really is. Openness is the key. And of course, Van has been so very open about his radical revolutionary communist past and, for all we know, present, right? We've shown you its core every single night since they came on the scene. That's why Van Jones wants you to cut it off. It's the same reason David Axelrod wanted you to turn Fox News off as well. Sent out a warning, not to you, but to other news organizations. Watch.
They're not really a news station. If you watch even, it's not just their commentators, but a lot of their news programming. It's really not news. It's pushing a point of view. And the bigger thing is that other news organizations like yours ought not to treat them that way.
So Fox News isn't really a news organization, and there he is issuing the warning. If other news organizations treat Fox like news, or heaven forbid, breaks ranks, and also reports the news like they do, there will be consequences. But we already fought this battle, and Fox won, because the president shouldn't send his minions out. Well, this time the president didn't. Just a group that Van Jones started. And there's no connection there to the president. Color for Change returns again. Van Jones co-founded Color for Change, and this week they sent out a similar warning. This is the news release, or the release they sent out about CNN, who dared break from the party line of zero coverage of the Black Panther story. May I quote from it? There it is. This week, CNN needs to be told to stop echoing Fox News. They promoted a story that originated on Fox News, which was a naked attempt by Fox to smear President Obama and Attorney General Holder. Fox is promoting the idea that the Justice Department is unwilling to prosecute voting rights cases when victims are white and perpetrators are black. And it's now CNN. They're lending Fox News race-baiting mainstream credibility. It's critical that we hold them accountable. Help us send a message to CNN chief John Klein. Demand they do real reporting and set the record straight once and for all. Isn't that interesting? See, they did it directly, and they got nailed for it. And so then, coincidentally, unconnected to the White House, Van Jones' organization does it again. Threatens. By the way, Fox News has not reported those. As usual, the facts don't really matter in a smear campaign. Back in a minute. Now back to the sweet, tender, loving words of communist Van Jones.
We feed the fear-mongers. We feed the politics of division by giving it so much attention and letting it take up so much space in our mind. We have to feed the hope. This country is extraordinary. I mean, I get choked up. This is an incredible, beautiful country with people in red states and blue states making miracles every day.
That was moving, Van. It was, to see a man get choked up for his feelings for America. Of course, now, I'd like to know where your pivot point was, because I remember a slightly different feeling of America from you. Watch.
This country is extraordinary, incredible, beautiful country. How's that capitalism working for you? How's that capitalism working for you this year? How is that capitalism working for you this year?
When you were a child in kindergarten, they promised you a country. You sang America the Beautiful. What happened to America the Beautiful? You said liberty and justice for all. Liberty and justice for everybody. And you believe that.
How were the Republicans able to push things through?
Well, the answer to that is they're...
We have to learn how to fight the warmongers without and within, the greedy capitalist developers without and within.
From 1954 to 1968, complete revolution was on the table for this country. And I think that this green movement has to pursue those same steps and stages. Right now we're saying we want to move from suicidal gray capitalism to some kind of eco-capitalism where, at least we're not, fast-tracking the destruction of the whole planet.
Who we're fighting against? Very simple. Big military.
No more broken treaties. No more broken treaties. Give them the wealth. We're going to change the whole system. We're going to change the whole thing.
The white polluters and the white environmentalists are essentially steering poison into the people of color communities because they don't have a racial justice frame. Being a rebel is important because a rebel opposes injustice. But I think it's more important to be a revolutionary because a revolutionary proposes a more just order.
Oh man, he loves this country so much. He gets so choked up I can barely read his statements on September 12th, 2001. He said, the system in the United States and worldwide has continually denied peaceful, legitimate attempts by those seeking justice and freedom through its own reckless, violent, and oppressive actions against poor people and people of color. The United States government has fueled frustration, grief, and outrage here and around the world. Ordinary people should insist that the U.S. government abandon its oppressive role of keeping down workers and dominating poor nations around the world. By the way, this isn't what he signed that he said. He didn't read it. This is from his Ella Baker. By the way, this has been scrubbed off the web, but it's interesting. I learned from John Ashcroft and Chertoff, the former Department of Homeland Security. He said, what you publish on the web is forever. I guess it doesn't matter if you're clever enough. How hard you scrub your Ella Baker website, somebody can still find it. Back in a minute. beginning of tonight's show, I asked you to imagine a time of honor in this country, a time when a man's word meant something. Remember the days of the settlers, when you could go west. If you had an idea, you could start it, you could grow it. The future was as wide as the prairies, opportunity as broad as the sky, and stability was as strong as the mountains. Tying ourselves to unpredictable governments run by unelected bureaucrats brings misery and poverty. It always does. But I believe in the American people. We can imagine an America that reconnects with honor, self-reliance, God. The American Revival. Join me in Salt Lake City for the American Revival. It's the last one in the country we're going to hold. It is on Saturday. Get tickets at glennbeck.com/tour. We'll see you tomorrow night from New York. Good night, America.